Okay. So, what's for dinner?
Tonight we're having a squab salad.
Squab salad. And in front of you are three
breasts of squab.
Okay, and what are you doing?
I'm taking them off the bone right now. So we have a nice, easily cooked piece of meat. So there's no bone in there. The bone doesn't add any flavor, so there's no point saving it.
Okay. Now this is, what you're doing is just like a chicken breast.
Yes, just like a boneless chicken breast, except much, much smaller. I'm just treating this quickly with a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm going to give it a light marinade in some olive oil. Put it in a plate and I'm going to put them on. This skin side down.
Does it matter skin side down, or why skin side down?
I just have the skin side up before I'm putting the skin side down into the oil, and then I'll add more salt.
So that's not like I'm putting it in the oil skin side down because I have skin on it.
Right.
Okay, that's just...
It won't matter.
One way or the other, okay. What kind of olive oil? Does it matter?
You always want to use extra virgin olive oil. Even though these are going into high heat, the olive oil, for some reason, just the meat is so lean that any oil you add to it, we're going to cook them in bacon fat. That's how.
Yes, the mushrooms and the bacon fat. So that's what's coming up next. Okay, the mushrooms are still sauteing. We've got the bacon fat has melted, and we've got the pan getting hot. That's like what, medium high?
Yeah, medium high.
And we have the breasts over there, and we have the full big shallot already minced. But this is a salad, so the first thing you're going to do for the salad dressing is what?
Pinch of salt, a spoonful of coarse ground Dijon mustard, about a tablespoon, maybe a little less, maybe a teaspoon and a half, and a dash of sherry vinegar. Not too much, because we're going to be using some of that for the sauce later on, and a little bit of olive oil.
And again, that's the extra virgin olive oil.
Absolutely. Always extra virgin. So we incorporate the vinegar into the mustard, and then now we're going to add the olive oil slowly. Get a nice emulsification.
This already smells really good.
Sherry vinegar is just something that you don't realize how good it really is. It's kind of expensive, but there's nothing that tastes like it. It's absolutely delightful.
Now this is turning into a dressing that looks like when you're making like a Caesar dressing, and you emulsify the egg and the oil and the lemon, and it gets that really, really creamy texture, and you can see how it's glossy.
So now I'm going to start on these little squab breasts, and they will not take long at all.
And that's just bacon fat in the pan.
Just bacon fat in the pan.
And you're setting them down?
Skin side down first, primarily because the skin always adds flavor, and you always want to get it as crisp as possible. Since these things can't cook very long, we're not going to leave them in the pan very long, so we need to put the skin side down. If it's going to get cooked at all, it's going to be the first thing that gets cooked. And you can see how they're easing up pretty quickly here. Inside the oven, I've got a warm plate. I don't want to be too warm to touch.
And the warm plate is because?
When these come out, I'm going to let them rest on the warm plate.
Gotcha. Like any other meat that gets, a high temperature heat, you want to make sure that it rests so it doesn't
lose all its juices when you
cut into it.
All those juices will as the meat relaxes on a warm plate, the juices will distribute themselves throughout the flesh.
Now, how this meat looks, this breast meat looks really red. Now, I think of like chicken. Wow, that is quick. I think of chicken as being like pink or even white flesh. I mean, this is really red.
Just like duck. It's a wild flesh. It's made for flying. It's not made for walking around the barnyard. So it's going to be an entirely different breed of cat, if you will. But it's very lean. It's very healthy.
So, now you're touching it. What are you trying to feel?
I want to make sure it feels medium rare, and it does.
Okay, so that means you're done.
Yeah, at least most of these are.
So maybe the larger one you're going to leave in there a little bit longer?
Yeah, it's always kind of tricky, but...
Is this one of those kind of flesh that, like scallops, you have to be, there's like a 20-second range of time where the scallop is perfect versus overcooked? Is this one of those situations?
Exactly, like that.
So when you're saying you're letting them cook, you're not even putting them back on the stove. You're just letting them cook in the bacon fat off of the heat.
Exactly.
Okay, so you took out most of the bacon fat, you left in like a teaspoon of bacon fat, and then the shallots that were sitting right there went into the pan, and they're now little brown bits, and you are now adding
a dash of cherry vinegar to it. We can let that simmer in there, deglaze any wonderful squab flavorings.
And you did not use a non-stick pan for this?
No.
Specifically?
Specifically, it's optional. The non-stick is easier. You don't have to worry about it as much, but we were using a lot of bacon fat, and you can get fawn with a regular stick pan, if you will. This is just an anodized aluminum pan. And fawn is flavor.
So all that brown, lemony stuff that you're scraping off with the shallot and the sherry vinegar is now...
It's now
awesome.
Yeah, quite well. So, let's dish up the salad. Let's add the bacon to the salad.
So we've added in the wild greens into the sauce, into the salad dressing that you made earlier, and the bacon that we started off with. You're just tossing that in.
Yeah. And I'm not going to use all of it because this is about the squab, not bacon. But bacon's good.
Bacon? Bacon is always very good.
I don't want to disrespect the bacon. Because, and here's something else. We're going to add the mushrooms we just sauteed into the mix as well. These are kind of dry and crispy. This is just the way I want them.
So it's a flavor, but it's also a texture.
Absolutely. A good salad is about flavor and texture at the same time. You want complements. You want soft and hard. You want crispy and savory and sweet and sour. All the contrasts are what make the salad really hot. So this is sauteed shiitakes and bacon. Wild green salad with cherry vinegar and Dijon mustard. We've already got the shallot in the over dressing, so we don't need any garlic or shallot in the under dressing.
You're like not missing any bacon.
No, you don't.
Do not waste a bit of bacon.
So,
and
use some wine.
Here we go. Well, it's also when you put the bacon on top. Well, when you put the bacon into the dressing, if you're not going to be serving it like right after.
Exactly.
The crispy bacon's gonna get a little bit soggy. So yeah, putting it on top.
So I'm cutting a little
Okay.
bit onions here.
And that pink is medium rare.
Yeah, medium rare.
And this is what you're saying, that you do not want to cook it any more than this. You want the pink.
Yes. It trust me, it's a lot like venison. Once you start going past a certain point, it just gets very disappointing. Very disappointing. So, in fact, it will taste like overcooked liver.
Okay, so now all of the breasts are cut up. We've got this one plated already, and you are
Just throwing the leftover juices into the sauce.
okay, which
There's
is
no one wasting those. They're yummy.
it's adding flavor, and this has been on low heat the entire time
Yes.
that you've been making the salad.
Just staying warm. And now we're just going to sprinkle a little of this over the salad. Salad.
This smells so good.
We don't get this every day.
No, you really, really don't. I'm pretty thankful when I do.
Don't want to overdo it with this overdressing because it's very vinegary. It's intense. We made more than we needed. That's okay. That's one thing you don't want to overdo is overdressing. A little sprinkle of bacon because it's bacon.
Because it's bacon. And a little grind of fresh pepper to top it off. And
More than enough salt everywhere.
yeah. And red wine. Yay. All right. Looks like it's dinner time. Awesome. Thanks.